All right, what's up, Pride Nation? Back at you with another video on today. This is Raw Detroit. Make sure you hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you click on the like button. It's free and it don't cost you a thing. Click on the bell notification so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. All right, guys, we're going to do a deep dive and we're going to give you some nuggets on DeAndre Swift on today. So brace yourself, pull up a chair, and let's get right into it. All right, guys, we're going to talk about DeAndre Swift. Now, I know that Vegas has pretty much come out and made a statement about DeAndre Swift and about Dan Campbell and about these things that they said about the Lions. Now, one thing that they said about DeAndre Swift is what we want to talk about is that DeAndre Swift could possibly lead the league in rushing. And I say no way, no how that is going to happen. And the reason why I say that that's not going to happen because the Lions do a run by committee. So there's no way that DeAndre Swift will ultimately lead the league in rushing. Could he get to 1,000 yards? Maybe, possibly. But everything is predicated on him having a great season this year. But you got to look at the history of DeAndre Swift when he was drafted to the Detroit Lions. You know, when he came in as a rookie, pretty much he was sharing duties with running back Kerryon Johnson, and as well as the Lions brought over Adrian Peterson. No, maybe they brought in AP just to be kind of a mentor, but they did allow Adrian Peterson to be able to get a lot of carries. And I pretty much kind of pushed Swift back a little bit, kind of injured in and out of the lineup a little bit too as well. And we know that the injury bug has been a thing with DeAndre Swift, that he has continued to get injured and is pretty much keeping him off the field and keeping him being able to excel and be the running back that the Lions really, really desperately need. We need that guy in the backfield that's going to be explosive. We need that guy that's going to be like a Javid Best. But and what I mean by Javid Best, I'm not talking about injury or nothing like that, but I'm talking about when just having that guy that's explosive, but having him for a full season. We know that's the biggest task for him, is to be able to be healthy for a full season and for 17 games. And I know he's going to give it his all. Running backs, they take a beating. You know, we got to admit that. Running backs take a beating, and they really don't last that long in the league as well. But when you look at DeAndre Swift, when he came into the league and the Lions drafted him, he was sharing duties with Kerryon, and he was sharing duties with AP, Adrian Peterson. And then his second season, the Lions decided to sign Jamal Williams, and pretty much Jamal Williams started a few games. When you look at the situation in Detroit, because they do a run by committee, DeAndre Swift has pretty much never been a focal point of the Detroit Lions offense. They've kind of used him as kind of a scat back. If you really want to tell the truth, pretty much he's been used as a glorified scat back. And that's what it's looking like he's going to end up being if the Lions don't find a way to utilize him and get the best out of him. You know, when you envision DeAndre Swift, you envision someone like a Christian McCaffrey, a guy that can catch out of the backfield and a guy that can do some damage with the football. And I definitely think that the Lions in 2022 need to make him a focal point of the offense. And what I mean by that is, I know he's in the run by committee. I know that he's going to share totes with Jamal Williams, but he needs to get a bulk of the carries. To me, for DeAndre Swift to be effective in football games, he needs to touch the football anywhere between 18 to 25 times in a game. And I'm not just talking about all run. I'm talking about a mixture of both running and passing. DeAndre Swift is that explosive and that good. I definitely think that he can get over 1,000 yards. It just has not happened. We know that the Lions have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, and they're going to be put to the test this season to see how good this offensive line really is. But what I think is feasible for DeAndre Swift, not 1,800 yards from the line of scrimmage or all-purpose yards, but I look at it probably around 15. I think that is a good number for him. About 1,000 out of the backfield and 500 receiving. I think that he can do that. I think that he's talented enough to do it, but he has to stay away from the injury bug. If he stays away and fights the injury bug and he's able to stay on the field and be able to give the Lions everything that they need and everything that they've ever wanted in a running back, then I think that the Lions will ultimately, at the end of the day, offer him a new contract extension. But I think that this season is a make or break season for him, and it's kind of not his fault why it's going the way it is. I mean, some of it you can say it is because of the injury, but you really don't want to blame stuff on people's injuries because it happens all the time, and it happens to some of the best players in the NFL. What you want to kind of blame it on is that at the beginning, the Lions really didn't utilize him correctly when they first drafted him. The totes that Adrian Peterson was toting should have gone to Swift and should have gone to Kerryon Johnson. You could have just had AP on the team as a mentor, being able to mentor both running backs. So I can't wait to see what Swift is really going to do at the end of the day, because let's face it, guys, we've still been looking for a 1,000-yard rusher since Reggie Bush did it in 2013. That's been a long time ago, man. It's time to find a back that can at least get you 1,000 yards out of the backfield. And I'm rooting for Swift, man, to have a big season, man. I know that the offensive line is better. I know that they got one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, but they're going to have to put it to test this season. We're going to see truly, can DeAndre Swift get a bulk of the workload and be able to be effective and stay injury-free. If he stays injury-free, I think that he can ultimately, at the end of the day, walk away with 1,000 yards on the season and about 400 to 500 yards receiving out of the backfield. Swift is our most explosive running back on the team, and we need him to go. We need him to be the engine in that backfield, man, that gives the Detroit Lions life at the end of the day. Because if the Lions were to make the playoffs, one thing that you need to be good at when you get in the playoffs is running the football. Most teams shy away from throwing the ball a lot in the playoffs. They run the football. If you look at the numbers and you check everything out and what they're doing, you'll see that majority of the time, teams that run the ball well are successful. And the Lions are going to ultimately, at the end of the day, need that from DeAndre Swift. You need him to be that guy that's going to be able to go out there and get a lot of carries, get 22 carries in one game and 5 or 6 receptions out of the backfield. I think that that's fair. So the Lions need to make DeAndre Swift the focal point of the offense. If he stays healthy, feed him the ball. Let's see what he got. Let's see what he can really, really do with the football. Because I think that he's talented enough to do it. But the Lions have to give him the touches. So for me, I think that DeAndre Swift needs to touch the ball, I repeat again, anywhere between 18 to 25 times in a football game to be effective for the Detroit Lions. And that's a combination of running and passing. I mean, not passing, sorry about that, catching. Catching the ball out the backfield and running. 22 carries in a game, maybe 7 catches out of the backfield. DeAndre Swift can do it. So we're going to see, man, if the Lions really, really make him a focal point of the offense in 2022. Make sure you guys subscribe to Raw Detroit. I'll be coming back to you soon with more content on the Detroit Lions in the offseason. And let's go Lions. All right, you guys, this has been Raw Detroit. Back at you with another one. I'm out of here. Peace.